Hey, Wedding Confessionals listeners, it's Brooke.
And Pam.
I like that you paused. Did you forget your name?
No, I swallowed.
We're coming in early just to tell you that this is going to be a two-parter. So you're listening to part one of our fun night with Adam Rose.
He's back.
Yeah, Adam came back to tell us all about his wedding. That's awesome. So
too much fun.
Yeah, so this is part one where we really dive into his wedding. And then part two will come next week.
Yep.
So enjoy part one right now, and then Pam and I will be back in the back end to talk about what? Because I said back end. Listen, you said I swallowed, and I didn't giggle at all. I let it go.
I was pretty proud of you.
I was being a media professional.
You're not anymore.
Anyway, Pammy and I will come at the end of part one to give you guys some bridal breaks. And then next week, we'll actually dive into confessionals. So stay tuned for Adam's fun episode, and we'll see you guys in about an hour. Bye.
Bye.
Something borrowed, something blue. Give us all your juicy news, sensational, irrational. It's Wedding Confessionals.
Welcome to another episode of Wedding Confessionals. I'm Brooke.
And I'm Pam.
And the only thing we love more than weddings
is talking shit about weddings.
So, sometimes we like to chat about something silly before we start.
Yes.
Not this fucking episode.
No, we're going right there.
Yeah. So I am dying to talk to our guest.
Well, summer's over.
Summer's over.
We took a summer break.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're back. We took a quick summer break. We had no guests on, and we got short little episodes, and we had fun.
It was fun.
In the sun. And now school's back in session.
Yep.
Get your pencils. Get your fresh box of crayons. Oh.
Yeah.
With the sharpener in the back that you don't really want to use.
No.
But you're glad it's there just in case. Okay, I do want to talk about crayons now for a second. So let's bring in our guest. Third time on the show.
Yes.
Our first time having a third repeater.
Yes.
Adam Michael Rose,
Woo-hoo!
My buddy, dialect coach, and as we'll get to it, newly married man.
Yes.
Yay. Welcome back.
Welcome back, dude.
Thank you. I'm so thrilled to be here.
I'm excited to talk about your wedding only because of this podcast. After you got married, I refused to really talk to you about your wedding because I wanted to save it for the show. So I've been a shitty friend.
I love everything about that.
Yeah, I dedicated.
It all makes sense now, right?
Yeah, it really
to the
does.
craft.
Yes.
But I do want to go back to the Crayola thing or the crayon thing. First of all, Crayola only, right?
Pretty
we can be a
much.
little brand
yeah.
sensitive.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
So you get your Crayola box. You get the big one, right? Like the 90
64.
or
Yeah.
64.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Is that the one?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Did you rearrange the colors so that they were in rainbow order? Or was that only me?
No, I never did that.
Pam?
No.
I did not, but I did something just as crazy as I actually made like a card so that if just in case they got messed up, I would know where they were supposed to go back to.
Like a Whitman sampler? Was that the name of the candies?
Yes, the chocolates.
Kinda. Yes. So I am just as crazy. This is why we're friends.
I do remember when I was a kid, it was like there were too many blues. They couldn't all fit in one little cardboard holder. It had like one had to be kind of greenish and go with the greens, and it drove me nuts. Fucking psycho child I was.
There was nothing worse than a blunt crayon. You know what I'm talking about.
First of all, Baltimore dialect. Let's talk about it. Is
I'm
it
so happy that you
crayon?
I'm so happy that you
You're
brought
a
that up.
dialect coach.
Right. So did you know that there are certain parts of the country that they don't say crayon or crayon?
Uh-huh.
In Baltimore growing up, and it was never me because I was always aware of it. I just always heard this. Mm-hmm. We say crown.
What?
As in, can you pass me the crowns?
Stop it.
No.
Like the queen wears
Yes.
a crown.
Yes. I'm not making it up.
You don't color with a crown.
In Baltimore, we do. Probably some other parts of the country too. A
crown.
Yes.
That sounds like if you asked me what part of the country would pronounce that word crown, I would think it would be like New Orleans. It sounds very Cajun.
It does. Yeah, I can hear. I can see that.
Apart from that crown. And some crab legs. I don't know. What do they eat down there? Oh, that's Baltimore too. It's crab, right?
Definitely crab.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm doing great.
You are.
So now that
That's amazing.
So now that we've talked about crayons As you do on a wedding podcast. So for listeners who don't know, Adam has been on, first of all, he's one of our OGs. He was in episode 3.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Right in the beginning.
Right. So Adam came on to talk because you were in the early phases of, you had like gotten engaged pretty recently at that point.
It was like weeks after the proposal. It was like,
early.
Yeah.
And then you came back in episode 25 and you were like talking about suit shopping. You had picked out the location. You had picked out like the catering. Like you were feeling good. Okay. So we definitely want to know like the tail end of the wedding planning and then the actual wedding day and then also the honeymoon. Because these are all the things that I wanted to text you and I haven't.
Where do I begin?
Begin at, okay, so like a month before the wedding is to happen. You're shaking your head.
Stress.
So you had your wedding over what, Memorial Day
It
weekend?
was Memorial Day weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remind us, now that it's happened, remind us where it was.
It was at, we loved our venue. We loved everything about our venue. It was here in Los Angeles in the tail outskirts of the city in the Northwestern Valley at an event space called Orcutt Horticultural Ranch.
We're going to get back to that.
Yep. He listens to the podcast.
Oh, 100% I do. Yeah. Let me just say this. You guys did such an amazing job of breaking down my wedding in the part 1 of the Paul Kaola
How
episode.
surreal is it to listen to other people break down your wedding on a podcast?
I was listening on Pins and Needles and I loved you guys just, you did
Most
us
people,
proud.
the celebrities feel like, right?
Yes.
Sorry. So Orcutt Ranch.
Okay, so that was our venue. We loved it. We could not have been happier with that.
So a month out. How much is ready? Most things?
I want to say we were doing pretty good. So I can now officially say my husband.
Yeah.
Super, super on top of everything. He mapped it all out. He had things ready to go and prepared that I never even thought about, like the signage. Who thinks about the signage at their wedding?
I did.
Yeah.
Tristan did not.
Yeah. It seems like in every couple there's one person that okay. He was on top of pretty much everything. The last month is when it hit me.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, oh, we still have to do this, and then we have to do that, and this and that, and this and that. On top of that, that's when you start to see the bills coming in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was the worst. That was the worst. Yeah. And there were some minor panic attacks on my end, little tiny.
Well, let's talk about it because all three of us I would consider ours frugal, but you win. You're definitely the most frugal. You are.
Yes.
Like, no, I'm not trying to be mean, but like your actual nature and how you view money and how you like to spend it and how it really matters to you emotionally. And right.
100%. 100%.
So now we're at the point where the bills are starting to come in and the realities of like what the budget is and what the reality of what's really going to happen if it's
really
over or under. How are you doing?
I mean, it was, great. I was fine for the most part. As soon as I just said that, Barry, when he listens to this, he's going to be laughing because it was kind of a little bit of a shit show. And here's the reason why. And there's a moral to go with this as well.
Ooh, okay.
I wanted my airline miles is what I wanted on my credit card. So I wanted to put everything on the credit card. So it was very easy.
Thinking honeymoon potentially. I don't know where you went, but
100%. Yeah. Very, very easy to just put it on the credit card. Swipe, 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 or insert that chip. And then all of a sudden you start getting those bills, and it's like, ooh, I gotta put my mouth where my money where my mouth.
You got it. Second
there it is.
Yep.
Yeah. And it was just I'm looking at all of this now finally in the flesh, and it was just it was hitting me on top of the real life stress of everything is less than a month away and we have to have everything done. So the stress was getting there.
Was there one specific bill that you were like unexpectedly higher than you were
had planned
anticipating?
The rentals.
Oh, you mean the chairs and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
The rentals, because the rentals the rentals was everything that we had to deal with at the wedding: the chairs, the tables, the flatware.
You had to bring in everything.
I had to bring in the lights, the everything.
Okay.
All of a sudden that payment just comes out of the middle of nowhere, and it's like, whoa, this is a thing. This is a very big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, do you think that you spent more than you thought? Or was it like...
We did. We slightly went beyond our budget.
By the way, you always do.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah, not surprised about that at all.
even the most mindful, all three of us,
Yep.
you go a little over.
A little bit.
Yeah.
You know.
We were totally fine. We were totally fine.
Yeah.
And
The wedding gifts coming in help.
Yes.
True that.
Here's my moral of the story, though.
Yeah.
And this is when it got a little dicey for me. So I was putting everything on the credit card, not necessarily checking my balance as this was going, and not realizing. So the funds weren't a problem. Funds were always, we were diligent planners. We had that money saved, and we were good to go. Nothing going on there.
Okay.
Credit card maximums, however.
Yeah, right.
So
Because you aren't usually piling
Putting
that much
that
shit on a
much?
credit
Sure.
card. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not at all. So here's our caterer, where we got our food from the day of the wedding. They didn't charge until I think it was the morning of the wedding. That was their policy. They charged the morning of the wedding. It just hit me, and it should have hit me a lot faster than it did, but it hit me the night before. So rehearsal dinner night is when it hit me. What's going on with my credit card? I should check to see what's going on with this. Oh my God. From our hotel, we had just checked in. We had gotten ready. We were on our way we were in the middle of, it had started.
Everything.
Yes.
It had started.
Yeah.
We were en route to the rehearsal dinner.
Yeah.
I sat down at my computer to go take a look, and I had a heart attack. because you're right there.
And the next bill was coming the next morning.
The exact next morning. So I fortunately I had another credit card.
Yeah.
And that's what saved it. But it turned into a thing of they were closed and I couldn't get them. I needed to tell them because they had the old one on file and I needed to get them this new one. So it turned into this whole thing of, am I going to get it to them on time? What happens if they charge it and then it's denied? And then what happens when we show up tomorrow and there's no food and everybody's like, what the fuck?
They call you.
I have a protein bar. It's fine.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a true fact. So that was, I have to say that is going to go down as a part of my memory. Fortunately, all of the wonderfulness of the wedding outweighs that.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that
So
was
what
a part of it.
happened? Did you actually get in contact with them or?
So I wasn't able to, that morning was super busy and, what was it? I was able to finally call them when they opened up and the first chance that I had that morning. And I said, hey, new credit card. And can you just please put it on here? And they said, okay. And we'll see. It wasn't a clear 100%. Everything is done. You are good to go. It was a thank you for this information. And we'll let you know if there was a problem. That's kind of what I walked away from that phone call with.
Oh,
So
God.
I literally was biting my nails all day thinking that I was going to show up to the venue and there was going to be no food whatsoever, that my uncle was going to have to go out and get pizza. And it would have been the biggest nightmare in the history of weddings that ever weddinged. It was just, oh God.
This is a really good tip for people
Yes.
paying for their own wedding.
Yeah.
Is something to think about is those bills. A lot of the vendors do hit the day of the wedding or
Yeah.
the day of, or day before. So you got to be prepared that your credit cards are have room.
Yeah. And it makes sense on their end because they want to wait to the last minute because you might have changes. Number of people,
Yeah.
you want to add
Yeah.
a thing. Like, I get why they do it, but yeah, that's a really good point.
And your mind starts spinning out of control too. I was thinking to myself, in a rational world, these people know that this is for a wedding, and if there was a problem with the credit card, they wouldn't just say sorry.
They don't want to be stuck with that much food. They're gonna find a
Yeah.
way.
That's a good point. That's a very, very
If you
good
had,
point.
if only
Saying.
Pam was in your ear at the rehearsal dinner.
Call me.
Yeah. You're in a panic. Just call Pam.
But
Her
you
number
guys-
is no. Just kidding. So let's go back to the actual. So people started coming town for the rehearsal dinner the weekend. How many people were flying in from what, Baltimore area?
Yeah, no, pretty much all up and down the Northeast. It was Baltimore, D.C., New York, Buffalo, New Jersey, And it was all pretty much, all of Barry's side was all pretty much California.
Yeah.
And then everybody on my side, for the most part, was coming in from the Northeast.
Yeah.
And it was a slow trickle.
I'm sorry. Ruth's ready to
There
join
she
the
is.
convo.
You ready?
Yeah. Ruth, what did you
What
do
she
with crayons
got?
when you were a child? Oh, she got a bone?
She's got a treat.
Hey, girl. She walks in with a bone like she has a cigar in her mouth.
It looked like a cigarette.
It's my
did.
princess.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You were saying.
Slow trickle of people coming in, starting with my parents and then some cousins, some wonderful cousins who came in and spent the entire week, then aunts and uncles and cousins. And then I want to say the majority of people came in on Thursday. A lot of friends came in on Thursday, and then a lot of people came in on Friday as well. I had one cousin who came in, he red-eyed it Friday night, and he was there Saturday for the wedding. Then he had to be back for another wedding on the East Coast on Sunday. So it was,
Wow.
yeah.
That
So
guy's
wait,
a baller.
you got married on a holiday weekend,
Yeah.
but you got married on the Saturday of a holiday weekend.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was great. It was great. Yeah. I thought that was a good day. It was right in the middle. It was kind of right. It was at the beginning of the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
People still had an extra day to kind of hang out in LA, and then one more travel day where they could do it vice versa, travel back on Sunday and then have a relaxed day, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. People are going to come to your
They're
damn
gonna do
wedding.
whatever
Yeah,
yeah.
they'll do what they need to do.
Yeah.
So you have your rehearsal went fine?
Rehearsal. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really a rehearsal. It was, are they ever actually a rehearsal?
And if you got a bigger party, they are,
I
because you guys didn't do really like a bradal party, did
No.
you? Right. So if
No.
you have a bridal party, then you have to be like, stand next to this person, walk here, blah blah blah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when Andy was on the show, I helped with her rehearsal. It was a legit rehearsal.
Wow.
Mine was sort of a rehearsal too. It's just when you have people and you're trying to
Okay.
pair them up. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's like 45 minutes,
Yeah.
right?
Ours was like a reluctant rehearsal. We were all drinking. They're like, we should probably do this. I'm like, meh, it'll be fine. Like I've done this before.
As long as you're not reluctant about getting married, I think that's cool.
I was like, I like, there's the tree. That's where I'm going to stand. It's good, right?
Got it.
Got it.
Nailed
Yeah,
it.
Noted.
So what did you do for the rehearsal dinner?
The rehearsal dinner, we found this incredible restaurant in Van Nuys. It's maybe you've heard of it. It's called the 94th Aero Squadron.
Yes.
Do you know that place?
It's on my bookmarked Yelp of to go to, but I've never been.
What?
Continue to tell us.
Yes, I don't
love,
know
love,
this.
love. I'd been there before for another event like a year and a half ago, and it's a restaurant. It's certainly a restaurant. It's open to the public, but it's also very much we have these different private rooms all over the place that are specifically designed for parties and weddings and events and stuff like that. So,
But explain the uniqueness of this restaurant.
this restaurant is flush up against the runways of the Van Nuys Airport.
And it's like an
Oh.
airplane themed restaurant,
That
right?
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to go.
Yeah, it's super
I've never
fun.
even heard of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really, really great place. I
Date
can't-
night, Pam. We're going to do it.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah, I a lot of wonderful things to say about those guys. They gave us a great room. It was like two rooms together. One was kind of almost like an outside-y, like veranda-y kind of thing.
Could you see the planes and everything?
Definitely, we could see the planes.
Was it too loud or was it cool?
No,
That
not
sounds
at all.
fun because it's a smaller airport, right?
Yeah, it's a tiny airport
It's a
with
private airport.
Small planes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We deliberately, and I think it worked out. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. We deliberately didn't make up seating for the Friday night. It was just kind of a show up,
Sure.
get yourself a drink, and then here's the room with all the tables. Sit down and make a friend.
Oh,
I
good.
love it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Right on. I do remember David Kantrowitz's episode where he came on to talk about after he got married. And the rehearsal dinner was stressful because everyone just stood there and stared at the table and didn't know where to sit.
Oh, no.
And he was like, just sit down. Everyone just sit. And
Oh,
everyone was
no.
like, where do I sit? What do I do? And he's like, I didn't know how to do table settings for a freaking rehearsal dinner. But I think
Is
that's
that a
what-
thing?
I think it was
supposed to do
just
it
a
for
moment
rehearsal?
where everybody gets polite and just
Sure.
no one wants to be rude and no one wants to overstep. I think that's all it was. And also I think he just was probably just kind of tired and was just kind of like, you are with your family sometimes you're like, come on.
Sit down.
But I think that's good because then people get to mingle a little bit and you all have a theme topic to talk about, which is like, hey, how do you know Adam? How do you know Barry?
Yeah.
And most people, I'm sure, know each other because it's a lot of family from out of town and right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. How many
Yeah.
people were at your rehearsal dinner?
We had, and that's exactly what it was. It was anybody out of town and family.
Yeah.
So I think it came out to just under 70, between 60 and 70, I think.
That's
Wow.
not bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was pretty good. It was a good size.
Yeah.
Good food.
Good food was good. Food was really, really good.
I have a very important question.
Yes.
Did you get drunk?
No.
Okay.
Not at
Because
all.
sometimes people unexpectedly get drunk at the rehearsal dinner because like there's a flood of people in town and they're excited and sometimes you get it too early, but you were good.
Totally good. Yeah. No, I was shuttling family that night. So I was
You were too
driving.
busy on the phone with Visa freaking out about that bill.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Always in the back of my mind. Oh.
Amazing.
So-
Check your credit cards, people. Check them.
Did you sleep well that night before the wedding?
I did. We were really, you know what? I really did actually, because we were talking about this. Between the two of us, I'm the one who tends to be a little bit more bouncy or crazy, energetic. Barry certainly can be too, but he can relax and chill, and I can relax and chill too. But I'm like, that's me.
I like that you're aggressive. Like I can relax and chill. I swear.
I promise. I really can.
You can take the boy out of New York, but
I know. I get it.
Yeah, no, it's there. So we had been saying for months there is no way we're getting any sleep the night before. Is that even possible? Can we do it?
Yeah.
And we were terrified about that because we knew that we had to be well rested for the next day. But we did. It was
Nice.
totally
Nice
fine.
snuggly hotel bedround.
Yes.
That helps. Sometimes
Yeah.
a big bed with nice pillows.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad you got all that sleep.
Yeah.
That's good.
So the next day was more like a early evening wedding. So you had a full day.
Yeah, the day.
What was the day?
Yeah, the day was we woke up, we went to breakfast with ourselves, and we tried to relax and have just an easygoing morning. I know that at one point we went to a nearby mall just to walk around, and that was totally fine. But then we had to spring into action. We had to be at the venue to help set up.
Yeah, because you're bringing in everything because that's the way that venue works, right?
Yeah, you bring in everything.
Yeah.
Our original plan was just to show up with our immediate families. So my parents, Barry's mom, sister, husband. But we somehow had a lot more people, like pretty much half of Barry's family showed up. And
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
helpful.
Yeah.
It's so much better if you have to choose between not having enough people and having too many and you're just kind of bored and milling around. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
No one
Extra
gets
hands.
sweaty.
Oh, I had no idea what I was doing. At set up for my wedding. It was one of those things. It was
All
like,
those people that got married before were like, we got this.
yeah. Just trying to walk around and make myself look busy. Oh, my best man, my God, my best man, who was, he was incredible. He showed up with another one of our really, really, really closest friends. The two of them were fantastic. They had gone out and they rented an SUV so that they could bring all of our flowers,
Cool.
which we did ourselves. And they
Really?
lived overnight in this giant SUV.
What do you mean you did the flowers yourself?
So do you remember what our flower arrangements were?
Don't be mad at me.
That's totally fine.
I don't.
It's totally fine. No. My amazing husband came up with this incredible idea, and I always get the two words confused. Terrarium with a T, I think. A terrarium.
Okay.
Does that sound right?
Is that
Yes.
the little glass thing?
It's a glass thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
With things in it.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were going
terrarium.
to tell me that terrarium was a type of plant, and I'm like, But
No,
yes,
no.
a thing that holds the plant, a little glass, little box.
That.
Sometimes. Okay.
So is there a gerarium? What is that? Am I making this up?
Fucking
No,
look
I
it
think
up.
that that is a flower or something close to that.
I'm googling it. Hold on. Fill for time.
I also think
So-
of herbarium from Rosemary's Baby.
That was not it.
Definitely.
That's not a
Terrarium is a flower. It's an annual flower.
Interesting.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you're right. A geranium. It's like pink. It looks like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Almost like a carnation.
Okay.
And then the terrarium, you're right, is the thing
Thing.
that can hold stuff.
Right.
Yes. So
Okay.
you did those.
We did those. We did a million of those the day before.
Damn.
Oh my
the day
goodness.
before. We got these like about yay big, which doesn't do anybody out there in podcast land.
Like
A
a
foot?
foot and a half.
Sure.
feet?
Sure.
Yeah, a
something
foot.
like that.
About
Yeah.
a foot.
Yeah. We got a bunch of these. These were going to be our centerpieces. We filled them with rocks. We filled them with soil. We went to the LA Flower Mart or Market
Downtown
Yep.
LA?
downtown
Yep.
LA.
Cool.
2 weeks before, and we had gotten a shit ton of succulents.
Oh, little guys?
All sizes.
Okay.
Little to medium to not so medium to big guys. All these succulents, and that's what our our terrariums were.
Yep.
And depending on the size of the, he had it all planned out. So the big guys, the footers,
Yeah.
those were the table centerpieces. But then we also had these little guys that went on the backs of the chairs in the ceremony area, just like decor everywhere. It was these all different sizes of terrariums, and we made them, and I was blown away by how good they looked after we had seen them.
Yeah.
After we had finished.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did this at the apartment here in LA.
Yeah.
The day before, and we were stuck with all these, and the plan was to put them
Wait, just the two of you doing this?
just the two of us.
How cute.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
That's
Yeah.
adorable.
Yeah. The plan was to somehow shuttle them up to the hotel in both of our cars, but there were a million of them. So my amazing best friend from back home / best man, he went out and rented an SUV. And they came by that afternoon once we had finished, and we loaded them all up, and they just lived in that thing overnight. And then they came to Orcutt the next day during setup time, and they unloaded everything, and they were there to help us unload the chairs and everything. They were amazing. They were amazing. Yeah.
Friends, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how many people again? Was it like about 80, 100?
No, it came out to just, where were we? We were like right 145, I think.
What was the cap that you weren't allowed to go over?
175.
Oh.
Oh.
You're really
okay.
under.
Yeah, you did
Yeah, we did
good.
good. We did good.
Good you.
It was kind of the perfect amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good, it fit the space really well.
Yeah.
It never felt empty or too crowded.
Nope.
Yeah. It
Nope.
was good.
Yeah.
So let's talk about getting into prepping, getting ready. Did you guys did you do a thing where you didn't want to see each other beforehand, or did you give it up?
No.
You know, I don't know.
No, that's true.
Don't roll your
He's
eyes.
making
You're
a
like,
face.
It's true.
some people listen, some people get weird.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
You know,
yeah.
not weird. It's sentimental about that. It's completely up to, it's an individual choice. Clearly yours was no thank you.
No, we oh god, time just really slipped away from us. Once we had gotten back from the venue, I don't even remember the timing at this point. But you know, you're definitely a time planner. Both of you guys are
Yes.
probably very much on top of your time. Do you ever find yourselves working backwards? Okay, I have to be here then. I need this amount of time to get ready, this amount of time to travel, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
how I figure out like when to walk the dog. Like when I'm trying to figure out if I'm going out for the night, if I have like dinner plans with somebody or an evening event,
Yeah.
I always have to go backwards of when I need to walk the dog, because I'll walk the dog before I take a shower, before I get ready. So I'm always like, okay, if we're leaving at this time, I live this, blah, blah, blah. Okay, to walk the dog at 4:15.
Right. Right.
And that's like the beginning of the night. It's like the night begins. Let's go, Ruth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's party.
Yeah.
She's right.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
When am I going to walk the dog? So you didn't have a dog
Okay,
to walk, but you're getting ready.
Definitely
Yeah,
didn't have that.
Frantically.
Um,
So your timing was
Time
off.
management.
It was one of those things where I don't something was awry in so much as that you know what it was? I think it took a little bit longer to leave the venue. The traffic with the light, and the venue wasn't that far from the hotel. Just there was LA. There was a lot of traffic. It was a Saturday afternoon. I had to drop off my parents. I had to go park the car, which was in the parking structure, then run back to the hotel. All these things. By the time I got back up there, I found that I had like maybe a half an hour before we had to turn around and leave again. So it was really
I'm
like,
sorry, as a girl, I'm in a blind panic, but you are a dude, so that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
yeah. And the one dude thing that I had to do that really kind of slowed, both of us did it, that slowed us down was the shaving.
Oh, because you want to do it right before, so it's a good close shave. I
Mm-hmm.
get that. Yeah, you don't
Okay.
have 5 o'clock shadow for your wedding photos.
Thought about it, but
Oh,
yeah.
just to like rock it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did that for the Friday night. And then the
you're
next
like
day,
sexy for the rehearsal dinner.
Yeah.
Nice.
So time really slipped away from us. And then we split up because no, I'm wrong about that. We both drove in my car to the wedding. We split up the night before so we could each take our families to the rehearsal dinner / Friday night dinner. But then we went together and we said, families, you're on your own for the wedding. You gotta find your own ride.
All right.
Yeah.
I know a guy with an SUV full of plants. So you get to the venue. Is there anything left for you to do? Everything's set up. Everything's fine. You're just basically hanging out.
That was my biggest, holy shit, is the food here? Moment.
Oh.
That's what that
You
was.
still hadn't gotten confirmation?
No, well, again, it was that weird nebulous phone confirmation of if there's a problem, we'll let you know. Kind of thing. That's where it was. We had a fantastic day of coordinator, and I think during setup, like the 2 hours earlier when we were all there en masse during setup, I think I asked her like 2 or 3 times, has food come yet? Have you heard from food? Is food here? Is food here?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, no, they probably won't be here until later. No, they won't be here. And she was cool as a cucumber. But I was shitting bricks. And by the time we got back there, it was like, so Barry went off and he did his thing. He was just kind of zenning, getting himself ready. And I'm thinking, food. And I went around the corner and whew.
They were there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You've never been so happy to see barbecue chicken in your life.
Oh my God. Oh my God. You guys have no idea. Yeah. It was, that's when I felt like I could relax. Well,
Yeah.
but no, because it was at the start of it. So like the bad nerves had gone away and now I was just left with the good normal nerves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
you're
talk-
about to get married.
Yeah. So did you talk to people before the wedding started, or did you kind of hole up?
We had, I think they call it the bridal suite, I think.
Sure.
Another amazing feature of this venue is it's an estate with multiple it was a home
Rooms.
with like all these different rooms and everything like that. So there's this one section off to the side of the courtyard that is off limits to guests, but available to the people who are getting married and their immediate families. So that's where we set up. That's where we went. We dropped off our stuff.
VIP.
Totally that. And it was like that's where our families were. And that's where our fantastic officiant, one of my other closest and dearest friends, Jessica, that's where she came to do all the signing and everything.
Cool.
Yep.
So all the legal stuff.
All the legal stuff.
How did you end up choosing Jessica? I don't know if we discussed that before.
She
How do you know her?
She is one of my closest, oldest, not oldest as in like, back in my
She looked
day.
great.
Yeah. We've been friends forever. And we grew up together. Just seemed like a right fit. She's got such a beautiful, fantastic personality that we think just draws people in, and she's so charming, and she did not disappoint for a second. We loved.
She was awesome.
We loved it. We absolutely loved it, and could not have been happier.
Nice.
So walk us through the ceremony. So people sit down.
People sat down. I had no idea. Again, going back to episode Paul Kaola the first.
Oh, yeah. I'll make a show note. Basically,
Yes.
Paul Kaola came on for a 2-parter, and it was literally the weekend after. It was like days after your wedding. I think the day after.
The day after.
So we did chat about, we did a little quick recap if you want to listen to that.
Yeah.
I'll put a show note of the exact episode. I don't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, so sorry. What were you gonna critique? Are you gonna critique us critiquing your wedding? This is great. It's very meta. This is good.
It is
Yeah.
a little bit, yeah. So there are so many things. What's funny to me is that you always hear that, I don't remember. I've heard from people before. I don't remember anything from my wedding. I was just in this completely different place. For me and for Barry, if I can speak for him, I think we have this perfect blend of we remember a lot, but then we don't remember a lot, and not for.
You remember the important parts.
You remember? Yeah. Just because you're like in this other world that day.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But then also just there are things that happen to people that you have absolutely no clue about whatsoever.
clue.
Yeah.
Case
Yep.
in point, the refreshments are being served
Yeah.
announcement. Had no idea about that.
But it was nice that she said that, because I didn't know that there was the little section where the drinks were. I didn't.
Yeah.
As we were walking in, I was just kind of distracted, and I think I was looking for my friends, so I didn't notice that to the side there were the little things of drinks. So it was helpful that she did it, and definitely people after she said it were like, "Oh!" And everyone I think that like me that had not noticed.
Yeah.
And I think it also kind of gave a cue of like you still have time to get it, because you
Right.
know sometimes you arrive and you don't want to be a dick who's like getting your cucumber water while like you're trying to walk down the aisle.
Right.
So I think it was a good announcement. I'm just an alcoholic who immediately thought it was booze. That's on.
Babe, go get me some wine.
That's on me. That's not on her. You say refreshments, I'm immediately it's like, what kind of liquor is this? It's terrible.
That's who your friends are.
I know.
Adam.
It's
I know.
fine. It's
I know.
fine. So anyway, so she gave the announcement, but then so people sit down for the wedding.
Yeah, and then I have no idea how much time went by. All I know is that so we were obviously back there doing our signing things and getting rid of the
Jitters,
nerves.
yeah.
Oh,
all
you
that.
signed all that stuff before.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like you should sign it afterwards.
Scandalous.
Just in case we made a mistake.
Yeah. What if I were to stand up and be like, I object?
Oh.
Adam's been sleeping with me for years. I feel like you signed it afterwards,
Right? What is
I
the
did.
Well, I mean,
you
Meghan
really?
Markle and
Yeah.
Harry signed it in the middle.
In the middle. Yeah.
That was rude.
Did they? What else did they do in that back room?
I don't know, man. That was weird.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what they
Wow.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We
sorry.
did it right before.
No, it's fine.
And then before we knew it, it was time to go. Again, our coordinators came out and they got us. We had team coordinators. They were incredible.
Yeah.
And it was that weird thing. It was that weird thing where all of your planning, everything that you have stressed over, that you have thought about, that you've envisioned, every invitation that you sent out, every it's easy to get caught up in the numbers of I have 145 people coming to this thing, but when you're sitting down and doing the table assignments, that 145, that number 145, that you break that down into the individual faces of the people that you know and love that you want to be there. You know, so like it's not just numbers anymore. All of those faces are there, but you
Yes.
can't see them because you're not looking at them. You're just looking. You need to get to where you need to be. You need to walk straight ahead. You need to get to the podium, not the podium.
I like that. Like your background as an actor is coming. You're like, it's time
Yep.
for to perform, Adam.
It's showtime.
It's showtime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't make eye contact with the audience.
The audience
Hit
goes,
your mark.
goes black. Yeah.
I saw nobody. I saw nobody as I was walking down the aisle. Can't quite explain it.
Did you walk down first or Barry? I don't remember.
I went first.
Okay.
I went first. And we both were flanked with our immediate families. So got there, and he was directly behind me as well. So got there, parents sat down, I took my spot, and then he was right there, and then that was it, and then it began.
Yeah. Can we talk about Barry's vows specifically?
Yeah.
And how they are some tear-jerking great vows.
Yeah.
Yours were wonderful.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
I know.
But holy crap.
I know. I know.
You obviously didn't know ahead of time what he was going to say.
Nope.
Do you remember them at all?
Nope.
God, does anybody have a recording of them?
Yeah.
And he has it written down?
Oh, we both have them written down.
Okay.
And we can access them at some point in the future, of course.
Yeah. Can
and-
he say them to me at some point so
Oh my
that I can
gosh.
also fall in love with him? 'Cause they're so romantic and passionate. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's like the end of a movie.
Yeah. It was just like breathtakingly his
They're
vows.
beautiful.
Yeah. They I didn't even know where to go, how to respond, how to react in that moment. It was
You
just,
made noises.
Yeah. Probably squeaking like a pig or
were
something.
like,
I don't. Yeah. Yeah.
Which, I mean, we all were.
Yeah.
I was like tears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just he's he can write.
Yeah.
He can write. And they were
And he sure does like you.
yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. They were absolutely incredible. And I was happy with mine too.
I was
but
going to
his-
say, how did you get into your vows though? Because we can only talk about your response to his, but like your vows, how did you get along writing them? Like how much in advance did you do it?
that was another thing that had been kind of with me for like in the back of your mind,
I need to do this.
need to do it, and like for months in advance. I even want to say a year
Oh, yeah.
up prior to it. And you keep thinking to yourself, you have this vows deadline, deadline May 26th
Oh,
is
yeah.
the deadline.
Yeah, you
Yes.
can't push it.
No.
No. And it just kept on, I wanted it to be organic. I didn't want to put too much planning into it, so I never quite figured it out. Throughout the year, I found myself kind of writing down. I kept a secret file on my computer of some thoughts that would pop into my brain every now and then. But when I went back to revisit them, basically I got up to, I don't know, like 3 weeks before the wedding, and I was like, shit. This can't play this game anymore.
I gotta do this.
Yeah. So I sat myself down one night and I went online to look at other vows, not because I was taking from them, but I wanted to see lengthwise.
Yeah.
I wanted to see like structure wise.
Did you watch YouTube videos or did you just read them?
No, I read them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where did you find? Did you just Google
Probably.
wedding vows?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you like other people's wedding vows?
No. No, I didn't. No, because
I guess that kind of has a confidence booster. You're like, I can do better than these
I
hacks.
got this. Yeah.
no, I knew the ones that I was looking at. They were pre-written. They I don't know. They just didn't seem individual, is my thing. And I definitely wanted mine to be very
Personal.
Yeah, that
Sure.
makes sense.
yeah, exactly. So I probably just didn't go to the right sites or something, but I don't know.
So when did you polish it? Was it all finished like the day before, or was it locked like a week before? When did you feel confident? You're like, this is it.
Did it and done in pretty much one night. Like took like an hour or two or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I sent it off to Jess just so she could have everything ahead of time.
Did you let anybody proof it or give anybody like a pass to read it?
Just her.
Oh.
Just her.
And that was just more like, just this is it, not for her to be like, I would change this.
I did want. Oh, I absolutely asked for her feedback.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did she tell you?
She loved it.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So I
Cool.
was happy with that, and that's all I needed. So
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice. And you didn't memorize it, right? Or did you read it?
no, I read it and
Yeah.
I forgot to bring the copy that I printed with me to the hotel. I printed it up, but then I left it at the apartment, and I forgot to bring it with me. So I had to ask Jess to print up another copy and bring it. That was another little snafu.
Oh,
Yeah.
but that came
It's all
through.
right. Yeah.
She
Yeah.
sounds solid. So,
Yeah.
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 That's cool.
Yeah.
So the wedding ends. What was the song that you guys walked down to at the end?
Heaven is a Place on Earth by Belinda
Belinda
Carlisle.
Carlisle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good choice.
Yeah.
So then we're getting into the reception. So the wedding guests are leaving the garden area of the Orcutt Ranch and going more towards the actual courtyard and building.
Correct.
That's when we need to get into a topic.
courtyard?
Wait,
It's
what?
it's
The
exactly
courtyard.
yes, the infamous courtyard, which is where we're all alluding to right
Yes. So if you remember Paul Keola's episode, there's two big things we need to discuss. And the first one we really need to discuss, Adam. We like really fucking need to get into this.
now. I have thoughts about that.
I need you
I have
to
so many thoughts about that.
I need you to tell the listeners, in case they haven't listened to that episode, what symbol was prominent in the courtyard.
I've known about it since day one.
That's good to know.
I've known about it since the very first time because I
Wait, you didn't answer the question.
Oh, because
He's
there's-
getting there.
We're
Okay.
getting there. Yeah, they're truly based on what you guys went through, what I heard from other people,
Yeah.
my own experience at that place. Because you may or may not remember, you guys. I believe in episode 25, maybe even episode 3. This was not my first wedding. It was my first wedding, but it wasn't my first wedding in attendance at Orcutt. I had been there years.
Yes, that's right. You went
earlier
as a guest.
As a guest.
Yeah.
To a friend's wedding, and that's when I noticed it too. When you're a guest, you notice everything.
I know.
So what we are dancing around at this point, let's just put it out there, swastikas.
There were a shit ton of swastikas at your wedding.
Yeah.
When you were a little boy and you dreamed one day of getting married, did you think, I know. Swastikas. Everywhere. Everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, so if you haven't
Okay.
listened to Paul's episode, let's explain that when this ranch was originally, yes, it's a technically a park owned by like Los Angeles, whatever, it's donated land, but originally a rich guy built this property. His wife did a lot of design work on it. And at the time, this is like pre-World War II,
Yes.
that symbol was actually a Native American symbol, and it's about like peace
Yeah.
and unity. It was a very positive, loving message.
Yes.
And
And the Nazis stole it and made it awful.
Goddamn Nazis.
I know. Not a fan.
No. But I love what Erika had to say. What episode is Erika?
I didn't know where you were going with it. Like, but I love. I'm like, but you love what? What Erika said?
What Erika Villalba episode I can't remember.
Before Paul's. We'll put it all in there.
Yeah. What Erika said.
Erika was also a guest at your wedding and also has been on the show. Sorry, go ahead.
What better way to say "fuck you, Hitler" than with a big, loving, gay Jewish wedding?
Yeah.
Yep.
Fuck you,
Yeah.
Hitler.
Yeah.
I mean, damn. You know what? I really like that you didn't tell anybody ahead of time, because everyone gets to go on their own journey, and it's like you trolled everyone, and it was great.
So
He's smiling, by the way.
You knew, because you made the decision not to tell anyone.
100%. 100%. And that I think, okay, so, well, all right, so two things first. Or one thing first. Number one, I'm not up on my swastika knowledge, per se.
What else is there to
Okay.
know?
Well, you may or may not recall that the swastikas at Orkut, they are at, 100%, I've studied the shit out of those. They're at 90-degree angles.
Yeah, it's a square.
Yes. If
It's not,
I'm not
like
mistaken,
a diamond. Yeah.
they were angled
Differently.
when Hitler took them over. So I'm not saying that, you know what I'm trying to say,
Yes.
is that they were kind of different. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's the other point that I want to bring up, and this would make for an amazing question to you guys at some point.
Maybe now.
Coming in, yeah. What would you do in that situation? There is a big, I don't know how big. There is a relatively noticeable sign before you enter the courtyard,
Yes.
saying, "Why are there
Tristan
swastikas?"
read it. Yeah, because
Thank God.
I have to wear
Okay.
glasses for looking in the distance and stuff. And I was one to look cute for your wedding, so I didn't have my glasses on. So Tristan is like eagle eyes. It's really creepy. He can hear really well and he can see really well.
Oh, that is
and he
creepy.
never gets cavities. It's so annoying. Genetically, I know, guys. It's annoying.
Jeez.
I know. But he saw the sign and read it and didn't say anything to me. And then when we were in line, he was like, "Oh yeah, you didn't read the sign?" Like he just thought everybody read the sign. Like
Amazing.
everyone's constantly reading. He's also the person when you're driving would just automatically see the weird sign that says like the population of a town.
Oh, yeah,
like,
yeah.
No one reads it and remembers, whereas he not only reads it, but like remembers the next day.
Yeah.
Creepy. But anyway, so he just assumed everybody was as educated as he was about
And
the
had
swastika
seen
thing.
the sign.
None of us had.
So there is a sign announcing.
There is a sign that announces
Yeah.
it. So here's the big question. We debated it for a bit. Do we prep our loved ones, our nearest and dearest who are coming to this thing ahead of time with a shout out to the swastikas
do
on our
you
website? Do
yeah,
we
like,
say
wh-
be prepared?
Oh my God, on your website, like it's like a tab that just says swastika, location, attire, maps, swastikas.
Swastikas. Click here. What do you do? Because on the one
Yeah.
hand, you want to prepare people, but on the other hand, you don't want to give the thing more importance than it.
Yeah, minimize it.
You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
the direction that we decided to go in.
Yeah, I liked it, man. It was fun.
Yeah, because you guys had a fun little adventure.
We did.
Yeah.
I could go on Wikipedia. It was great.
Yeah.
No, I think in the end it was very fun.
But
Yeah.
you also learned about, its history before it got turned evil,
Yeah.
which it was a good sign.
And I will say, like, if it was just if the structure of how you would set up your wedding was different, I don't know if I would have noticed at all, because it was only because I was in line for a drink.
Yeah.
And at one point,
Those drinks.
I think Tristan left to go into the restroom, and somebody else, I was standing in between people that I didn't really know very well. So I was just kind of zoning out a little bit more than you would if it was like a person you were chatting with.
Right.
So and that's when I just looked and saw. So it's like only because I was standing still and needing to entertain myself. That even came up. But that's another thing, is that there was another line that we had to get into, which brings us to the second thing that came up at the wedding.
The food line, right?
It was into the appetizer line. So from the drink line to the appetizer line is where on display was a series of tile paintings
Right.
that you told me you never even noticed. And it was
shaking his head.
a series of paintings on tile depicting a cockfight, and literally chickens dying.
Yeah, I know. Again, going back to that amazing Paul Keola episode, you guys laid it out beautifully. Apparently, that shaking of my head, Pam, was not, no, I knew all about it all along. It was, I am shocked and flummoxed at how I never even saw that in the first place. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think that Barry saw it either.
Really?
We were both, yeah, I think we were both ridiculously surprised to hear
and
about
it was
this.
only because of the layout of where the drinks were into that, because you basically got a drink and then you immediately got in the next line to get your appetizer, because I was the appetizer station.
Yeah.
So it's only because it was standing still in that section that you would even notice.
Yeah.
And also, I think that the one of everybody giving money after the chickens were killed was right behind the bartender.
Oh my gosh.
And the thing is, because I couldn't really register what was happening in the picture, it is beautifully done, and it goes with the
Chickens.
Southwest style of the Spanish style of the home, and I was like, oh, chickies. I'm like, wait, what's going on? It was so fun.
Just some cockfighting.
But I do think it's funny that what you notice when you're just kind of standing and lollygagging, whereas someone planning a wedding is just running around and active and always talking to someone.
Well, yeah, you're like, this
when
is
would you be
beautiful
zoning
and-
out?
yeah.
We never stood in line in that location. Yeah.
Could you
It's
imagine
true.
if you had to stand in line?
Oh my God.
What dicks your guests would have been to be like, wait your turn.
I know.
I need a tortilla.
Yeah.
I'm going to take my amount of guac before you.
Oh my goodness.
But overall, man, the reception too was a success.
We had a blast. We had such an amazing, wonderful time. That night is just filled with just absolute love and wonderful memories. Did you have fun doing the horror?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
how did you feel about being hoisted up?
I was totally fine with that. It's one of my favorite things to see I love watching the looks on the faces of the people that are up to. Have you ever been to a Jewish wedding? No. Okay. Have you ever seen?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Love looking at the looks of the faces on people, because it ranges anywhere from what the fuck, I'm gonna fall off this chair now and go splat, to this is the best time ever. And I was mostly on the best time ever with a little bit of, ooh, am I secure up here? I don't know. Barry was much more on the opposite side of that, but I think he did a really good job of still enjoying himself in them.
And in his defense, he's not this tiny little twink of a man. Barry's a buff dude and taller.
Yeah.
So I'm sure larger people, when you're just okay, it's one thing if I'm like our friend Brittany, when she got married, she's teeny.
tiny.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she's in the chair, and I'm sure she didn't give a shit. She was 100 pounds. You know what I mean? Just beep, 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 popping around. Who would care? But Barry's a grown man.
I know.
I was are these men below me able to do this?
I know.
How is everyone's backs right now?
I know. I have no idea how many people were underneath of both of us, but it must have been an army of
I definitely
people.
remember recruiting Tristan,
Yeah.
who didn't know what to do, and I was just go, just assist. You are tall, go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought it was really fun. Portos was good.
I mean, you really feel, I shout out to my peeps, to my Jewish mothers and fathers out there, and brothers and sisters.
and the cousins that danced.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Your cousins danced.
Yeah, I had
you
some-
guys had some
Nice.
awesome dancers.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
are these plants? Are these professionals?
Those were my cousins Luke and Brett. One of them was the one who I told you flew in the night before.
Oh my
and then was
God.
out the next night. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Athletic.
Crazy kids in their 20s.
So true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just I don't know. We had a blast. We had such a great time dancing. One other thing. Another moral of the story that we, in hindsight, wanted. Oh, and then I had another story too. Oh,
Two stories, go.
Yeah. Take your photographer, if possible, around with you to all of the different tables.
Oh, you're greeting the guests.
When you're greeting the guests.
Smart.
We kind of regret that we didn't.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's smart.
Yeah.
It's a good tip.
Yeah.
I like
'Cause
that.
we have we actually really enjoyed that. We enjoyed that part. But out of all the tables that we visited, we have 2 pictures.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Of that. Yeah.
Right.
So.
Because it feels like a lull in activity as a
Yeah.
photographer, but actually for individuals getting pictures of
Super
all of your
important.
closest, everyone's still hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
There was another story you wanted to tell. Do you
Yeah.
remember?
This one, a little bit of a downer with a really happy ending.
Oh,
Okay.
Prepared.
Here's some behind the scenes shit. I had been talking to. I did a little bit of a chemistry meet, if you will, with the photographer that week, just to discuss his vision and tell him about us and what we wanted and what we were looking for and everything like that. And he was telling me what he was going to do. And then he says, here's something that I do at weddings quite frequently. If you want to give me your rings at some point, look at that face.
I don't like this at all.
Have you never, is this not a thing? Were we
No.
bamboozled?
I'm just,
No.
no, I just worry about, go ahead.
I
keep going.
I know. He took our rings, as he described it, on a journey of the event, of the venue, shooting them in various locations. So by the chuppah, and then by a bottle of champagne, and all these different things. So I forget when he came up to us. It was somewhere.
It's like a flat Stanley traveling
Yeah.
around the world.
Oh. But he was a great guy. And
You didn't like that?
well, so here's what happened. Gave him the rings, and then maybe, I don't know.
This is post ceremony, so you
This is
technically have already
definitely-
you've already used them for the ceremony.
Definitely, yeah. It was
So
post
it's post
ceremony.
ceremony. Okay.
Maybe had been wearing. I feel like I had been wearing it for about an hour. He came up to us and we gave him the rings. He goes off and he does his thing, blah blah blah. And then he comes back right at the end of the night. And of course he had been taking pictures all that time. But the rings were there. Gave me the rings, and I gave Barry his, and I put mine on. And I'm just kind of, it's a brand new thing. It's a foreign object on my hand. I still
Yeah.
can't stop playing with it, by the way. And I'm just kind of playing around with it, and I feel something on it. It's a scratch. And I'm thinking, oh, it's a scratch. Oh, okay, fine. Then there's another scratch. And then there's another scratch. And I'm not kidding. There's at least 3 scratches. And then there was a gouge.
What?
A gouge.
What?
There was a chunk.
Oh,
What
fuck.
did he do?
We have no idea. We have no fucking idea. Did he drop them? Did he?
But even it's like metal.
Yes.
I know. There was some weird chunk of metal missing from this brand new ring that I hadn't even been wearing for an hour.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. Did you call him out on it?
No.
Well, how does this become a happy story?
I know, right?
Because we went to Tiffany's the next week.
That's where you got the rings?
That's where we got the rings. And they replaced it.
What?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Shout out
Yeah.
to Tiffany.
Shout out to Tiffany's.
Ouch.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
What did you say?
So they have this policy that you can.
They don't want their rings to look like shit?
Also, it's like if your ring can't handle being out there in the world for a week.
For an
days,
hour.
a day,
An
right?
hour with a photographer.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have a policy that you can go into any location and they will, inside of the store, they will polish and rebuff, I guess, any of their pieces.
Okay.
So they do that and they bring it back and they said, yeah, we got out some of it, but there's that weird chunk right there.
Oh.
And I said, can that be fixed? And then our representative says, hold on. And he goes off and he's looking in the computer, and then he comes back and says, what size are you? And I say, I don't even remember at this point. I didn't tell him my size. Then he disappears, and then he comes back with a brand new ring.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. Christmas miracle.
Oh.
That's That's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
That
Shout out
is
to Tiffany's.
customer service.
Yes.
Right?
Excellence.
Yeah.
Wow. Damn. That's cool.
So
That's very cool.
very happy ending for a really shitty situation.
That
Yeah.
sucks,
Yeah.
dude.
So weird.
Yeah.
That's really weird. Also, the idea of like all these pictures at your wedding, like you don't have your damn ring on.
I know, isn't that?
Did
That's
anyone
weird
ever
too.
notice that you were like, "Hey, where's your ring?"
No, nobody called us out.
Wait, did you get the pictures back to be like, oh, maybe this is where the gouge
Yeah.
happened?
Where did the ring go?
There's a couple of suspects. There's a couple of there's like
Hold on a second. I'm gonna let Ruth out. Sorry, she this story stresses her out too much. She can't handle it. Bye, girl.
there was like a brick surface at one point, a really jaggedy looking brick.
But still, I think about how many times I've like hoisted myself up on something while wearing my. I mean, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
on your freaking hand.
do,
Think how much
like-
you do with your hand.
Yeah.
That's weird, man.
It had to have been a drop somewhere. I
And
don't
he
know.
didn't say, oh, hey, by the way.
Nope. Nothing.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, not shout out to him.
I know.
Don't give his name. So how late did you stay? When did your wedding end? Like 10ish? 11?
Yeah, I don't even remember. We were out. I think we were out of there. We had to be done and everything wrapped up by 10, and I think we were out by 10:30.
Was there an after party or no?
There was. We definitely didn't. We didn't go. There was,
Oh, you didn't go.
Nope. No, it was just a bunch of people went to a bar.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you're just like, no, I'm going to bed.
You're
You're
out.
so excited.
Yeah.
Oh
Just
my God.
exhausted.
Oh my God. Yeah. Nope.
Mentally, physically done.
Done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Done. Yeah.
The next morning, did you do like a brunchy sort of thing or no?
We did. So in the hotel that one of the hotels that we got for everybody or
Set up.
arranged. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Pam. We did just a very casual drive-by situation. We didn't reserve. We didn't do anything. We just said, we are going to be downstairs between this time.
Yes.
Please come down, have a drink with us, have a mimosa, say hi, give us a hug. We'll give you one. And if there's room, please join us. That's
Okay,
exactly
cool.
how it went. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
A lot of people show up.
Yeah. Oh, pretty much everybody. Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that was the end of the wedding adventure.
That was it. That
and
was
then
it.
what did you guys do about a honeymoon?
Honeymoon was delayed by about a month.
Did you use those
With
miles?
all your points. Yeah.
Ironically, no, because we didn't. What? I know, it's crazy. We didn't fly anywhere.
Oh, did you
Okay.
plan it in advance, or was it like? But on your wedding day, did you already know your honeymoon, or no?
Yes. Oh yeah. No, we had planned it a few like months before. We did a cruise. We did a cruise to Mexico.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and we
So
loved
out
it.
of Long Beach or whatever.
Out of Long Beach.
7 day.
7 day.
Yep.
Down the Pacific coast, Mazatlan, Cabo, and Cabo San Lucas, for those non-West Coast
And
people.
Puerto Vallarta.
And Puerto Vallarta.
Have you done that one?
My parents have a
Oh.
couple times.
Yeah. Yeah.
They love it.
That's awesome. And you
Yeah.
liked
We
it?
loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had such a great time.
Oh, cool.
We had such a great time. We want to do it pretty much once a year now.
Yeah.
Not that one, but other cruises.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're now realizing that you're cruise people. Is it your first cruise as a couple?
We're saying that we're now cruising gays. And we mean that in the most PG rated of sorts.
Of
Was it a
course.
gay cruise?
It was not a gay cruise. No.
Okay. So
No.
because that wasn't like party because you're old married people now.
Yeah. No, just your everyday run of the mill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Families and stuff.
Lots of families. Lots of
That's
families. Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. But it was great though. It was great. We did massages. It was a perfect balance of relax and adventure.
Yeah.
It was good. It was
That's
really good.
cool. Would
Yeah.
you say the cruise line since you liked it?
It was Carnival.
It was
It
Carnival.
was Carnival. I'm well aware of Carnival's past.
Oh, do they have a bad past? I just know Shaq does their commercials now.
He does?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a great time. I couldn't say enough great things about our experience.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have you been on I've never been on a Carnival
I
cruise.
haven't.
No.
Yeah.
I went on one cruise. I don't even remember the name. I was a kid. I don't remember. So I wouldn't be able to give a good review or not.
I went on a cruise to sing for my dad's wedding. My dad got married on a cruise ship, and then those who were not going on the cruise had to get off.
Wait, what?
Oh, yeah.
Wait. Stop. Back up. So your father, when he got remarried, so how old are you? Sorry to pull focus, Adam.
No,
We're clearly
please.
done with you. It's Pam time. Wait,
I thought I was just going to slip this in, but no.
this is too good. You can't just die. Wait, how old are you?
20s, late 20s.
Okay, so your dad's getting remarried.
My dad's getting remarried.
Late 20s.
He loves cruise ships.
Okay.
He loves them.
Cool.
And his
Is it because of the food?
possibly.
That's one
Yes.
of the yeah.
Yeah, he's a fan of food. He loves to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they decided to get married on the cruise ship, but they wanted friends and family to not be forced to take the cruise ship
That's nice.
with them.
Yeah.
So what they did was we had the ceremony, and literally, no joke, in the middle of the ceremony, there was a and a
people are
big
loading?
yes. And the PA system came on and made an announcement, and then 3 minutes later, we were able to continue with the ceremony. So the ceremony happened, and they had a mini reception, and it was all kind of like in that like time where everybody's loading in. So there's all of that happening,
Yeah.
and then it was like, all right, TikTok, you got to go. If you're not staying, it's time to get off the cruise ship.
So this is a ceremony that could not start late.
No,
Wow.
couldn't start late.
How
and
many people came and then left the boat?
A lot.
Yeah.
there were only
That's a big investment.
like 10 who stayed.
That's fair. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I know it was small, anyways. The second,
did you go on the cruise or no?
no,
Yeah.
I did not.
Oh, that's kind of weird because then you're going to your dad's honeymoon. That's creepy.
Kind of. I'm like, I'll pass.
What a cool bonus story to throw in there, Pam. Okay, I have two. Okay, I have a question. Two more questions, and then we'll
Yeah,
get to our big
please.
question that we always ask. So did you eat?
All the time.
What?
Well, yeah, no, yeah. The food was fantastic. We had such a great time, and I will.
You tried all of it? The apps, the dessert, the food. You tried all of it?
Yes.
During the reception, you actually ate.
Yeah, absolutely. We didn't. No, I take that back. We didn't do the apps.
Good guac. You missed it.
I know, because because we were off doing family pictures.
Yeah.
So by the time we made it to the apps, we just wanted we wanted a drink.
Yeah. That was my follow-up question. Did you
yeah.
get drunk at your wedding?
Did not.
Oh, okay.
Did not.
Yeah.
No, not at all. But I do remember eating dinner. I do remember having to eat dinner relatively quickly.
Okay.
And then I do remember. I don't remember enough dessert.
After all of that tasting and being so excited to have Portos at your wedding.
I know.
Did you
I know.
actually have a Portos piece? Did you have a little bite of Portos?
You know what I think I did? I think I snuck a cookie during setup. And that was my Portos experience of the day. Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. That
All
was
right.
it.
At
Funny.
least
Yeah.
you got some.
Yeah.
So our big questions.
Yes.
We'll start with the negative just to get it out of the way.
Oh.
Right? No, you want to end on negative? Oh
No, that's true. No, let's start with the negative. The best and the worst. So start with the worst.
From beginning, middle, from planning, like from
All the way through.
saying yes, let's get married to actually getting married in the brunch afterwards. What was like? Was it the bill? Was that the worst thing, or was there something else that was like, oh,
such a loaded question.
maybe it's the ring?
That was a big one. That didn't really affect both of us. What was the worst? I really think that the worst was just feeling like we didn't have a life, or like a peaceful, relaxed life outside of our normal working and other things that we do life. We really didn't at all for this past year.
This was like your ongoing project.
And Barry, I think if I'm using his words correctly, I think he's often described it as it's almost like having another job. It's literally like
Absolutely.
having another job.
Yep.
Do you feel like you have more free time now that it's over?
Yes.
Have you started on your thank you cards?
Oh, we got those out within like.
Oh, that's right. I did get a thank you card already.
Yeah.
That's
No.
efficient.
Done. Yes.
Oh, no, my husband, his thank yous were out like maybe within 2 weeks. And I was maybe another 2 weeks after that. I was within the okay, as I'm told. I was
a year.
you do.
You do, but usually you do it in the first like month or two if
Yeah.
you're smart.
Yeah.
Because then you'll just fucking forget.
Yeah. So I was within a month.
Okay.
We got
just
back.
the overall stress of just the time consuming.
We got back to the house on Sunday after it was done, and we collapsed on the bed, and it was just the biggest sigh of holy shit. We never have to do this again.
That's amazing.
It felt so good. Oh, yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's
I
stressful.
think that was the worst.
Yeah.
That
It's
was
a
the worst.
lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the best?
Being loved by so many people, as corny as that might sound,
It's
just
not corny at all.
yeah, just seeing and literally there were moments throughout the whole night in which I know we both physically felt the love of everybody that was closest to us in our lives, from seeing the absolute joy on people's faces when we were traveling from table to table, and just seeing how happy and excited people were, hearing the sniffles in the audience, feeling everybody around us during the dancing. Like, just I cannot remember when I've ever felt that loved before, and that was 100% a life moment that I really think that it's one of the most amazing things ever.
Oh, that's a good answer.
Yep.
It sniffles all over again. God damn it, Adam.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Well, so overall, thumbs up. You liked your wedding.
We loved our wedding. We
Yeah.
loved our wedding.
Yeah.
You have to slog through some shit to get there,
Yeah.
but
The effort paid off.
we
You had a
loved
good
it.
time.
We love hearing other people's experiences with it. We both still love going back over our pictures and seeing what everybody else was experiencing. Like, we
Yeah.
loved it. Yeah.
That's cool.
Aw.
Oh, yay. And we're on the back end, which Pam made dirty. And she's too busy cuddling with my dog to pay to focus, Pamela.
I'm here.
I
I'm
know,
here. Me and Ruth
is-
are here.
Yeah, you and Ruth are having a moment.
Yes.
So we're gonna do some bridal breaks, Pammy.
Yeah.
So I don't want to keep people hanging for a week.
No, let's do it.
For any new listener, bridal breaks are just suggestions that we give not only to brides, but anyone planning a wedding, of fun things to do that have nothing to do with weddings, so that you can not lose your mind during your wedding planning process and be a human for a second. So step away from your invites, from your RSVP cards, and do these fun things.
Yeah.
Pammy usually suggests a cocktail to make or a wine to savor.
Something fun.
What you got this time?
So this week I found on vinepair.com something called the Perfect Port Daiquiri.
I love port.
I love
Wait,
port.
wine is part of it?
Yes.
I've never had port in a cocktail.
I haven't either.
in.
And so I was like, what is this drink?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
really
yeah.
the name brought me in.
Yeah.
So this is what is in the Perfect Port Daiquiri.
Okay.
It is white port,
Okay.
rosé port,
I've never had rosé port.
lime juice,
Okay. I thought you were going to say lime port. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Sorry.
Demiria syrup, and 1 egg white.
Ooh, we know egg white drinks are fancy.
So good.
I
You
kinda-
combine it all in a shaker. Shake hard, chill to combine, strain out the ice.
Yeah.
Shake hard again to further emulsify ingredients.
Because the egg
Fine
white.
straight, yeah. And then put in a little like cocktail glass. But doesn't that sound
It looks
so
pretty,
good?
too.
It's really pretty. And
Ooh la la. Where can you find it?
vinepair.com.
Vine Pair. Oh, I wonder if they have more wine cocktails. I think you're going to keep going back to that.
Most likely.
I like any sort of cocktail where the mixer is also booze.
It's just
Let's just fuck me up.
this is like the perfect like blend of
yeah.
end of summer into fall because you've got your daiquiri
Yeah.
and then you've got your port,
Yeah.
which is more of a fall winter.
I like it. I like it.
I like it too.
Yum. And now I want some port. Maybe after this. We'll see.
What you got?
So mine this week is I'm on a Netflix kick. And I've seen a lot of ads for this, and I know it's kind of buzzing around, but I finally got around to watching Set It Up, which is Netflix's rom-com. It's not a series, it's just an actual movie.
It's a movie.
It's
Okay.
a movie. And it stars Lucy Liu and Diggs.
Okay.
Yeah. So Tay Diggs is basically in a suit the whole time, looking fly as hell. And Lucy Liu is also in like power suits and being amazing.
Nice.
And it's they have assistants, and basically the assistants kind of try to set them up. It's like that's the basic storyline of it. But it's very
Gotcha.
much like late 90s, mid aughts, where like every rom com was like a sassy girl working in the city It's an assistant, very Devil Wears Prada.
Yes.
That kind of vibe. It
Yep.
has that kind of vibe. It's really fun. Oh, and Pete Davidson's in it too, which was like a surprise for me. And I think he's really funny from SNL.
He is
who's
funny.
currently engaged to Ariana
Ariana
Grande. So it's sort of about weddings because you just watch him and you go, huh, you're engaged to a pop star. That's
Yep.
amazing. Good luck, kids. You never know.
I know.
You know, sometimes it works. I hope the
They'll
best for
have fun.
them. They seem sweet
They do.
as individual people in general. So I really hope for the best. Anyway, so set it up. It was just like a fun, that perfect, like mindless rom-com, but I would watch it again.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, everyone's pretty. Everyone looks great. The city looks great. Yeah, so fun.
It's got you hooked.
Yeah, definitely. Set it up on Netflix. So Pammy, those are our bridal breaks.
Yes.
And now I want to get into our last segment, which is telling all of the listeners about ways to learn about our show.
Yes,
So Pamela, we have a website.
we do.
It's conveniently named what?
Weddingconfessionals.com.
Very good at branding.
Yeah.
So at weddingconfessionals.com, you can find show notes. You can find kind of links of our bridal breaks that we just talked about. And you can also find links to where we are on social media. Pamela, where are we on social media?
Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Yeah. And also, we'd love to get more of your stories. So if you have a confessional, whether it's advice that you want or a crazy story, you just want to vent, let us know. There are 3 ways that you can send us your confessionals. The first is an email address. What is it?
Weddingconfessionals@gmail.com.
We also have a phone number, 434-933-2663. That's 434-933-2663. And it's just set up as a voicemail. So you call that phone number, leave your voicemail. We just transcribe it. So we will not have your voice ever aired. So you can
Nope.
remain anonymous. 'Cause everyone's
Absolutely.
anonymous. Secrets. And share your secret that way. The other way that people like to share their secrets is to go to our website, which is again, what, Pamela?
Weddingconfessionals.com.
And you click on a tab that says...
Tell us your secret.
Tell us your secret. From there, it's a simple form. It's just a name and then a box where you can type in your confessional and hit send.
Yep.
And then
super easy.
No name needed, no phone number, no email address.
Nope.
Just all of the stuff that's going on in your life.
Be creative. We love it.
Yeah, the names, people are getting good.
Yeah, they
are.
are.
I'm proud of you guys. So we are available, Pamela, on iTunes/Apple Podcasts.
Yes.
In order to push up into their algorithm, we have to ask all of our listeners to hit subscribe
Please.
and also give us a review and give us a rating. What stars do you prefer, Pam?
I prefer 5.
All 5 stars. Fill them all in.
Do it.
5 stars. We're like a really good restaurant on Yelp. So yeah, give us a rate and review. It helps more people find our show. So more brides and grooms dealing with weddings. Help them out.
And the reviews are fun.
Yeah, the reviews are fun. You guys also are creative there too.
Yes,
Thank
you.
We have fun listeners. We do. So besides Apple Podcasts, Pamela, we are also available on a bunch of different other places. I'm gonna be nice to you since no one's in here. We just did this bonus
not
one. I'm not gonna
torturing me.
torture you. You're holding my
right.
dog, so I feel like I have to be really nice to you.
That's right.
Or you could like do something to Ruth, which you never would,
Never.
because your love for her is very strong. They're
It
like
is.
best friends, you guys.
I love my Ruthie.
Oh, Ruth. So Pamela, besides Apple Podcasts, where else can you find us?
You can find us on Podbean.
Yep.
Player FM.
Yep.
Stitcher. Castbox. Downcast. Spotify. YouTube. iHeartRadio. Podcast Republic. Podcast Addict. Podtail. Pocket Cast.
Overcast,
Overcast.
Castro,
Yes.
Pod Paradise, Podcast Land, and our newest one, Radio Public.
Radio Public.
Boom. And that's it for part 1 of our fun night with Adam. So stay tuned, you guys, to the next episode because we get into confessionals and they're
good.
really good.
Yep.
So we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye. Special thanks to Andy Schreier for our adorable theme song, and to Ramsey Millay and Brian Maylard for their technical support, which we desperately needed.
Want to make sure you don't miss a single episode? Subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Play, or SoundCloud, and make sure to give us a 5-star rating, or I guess a 4 if you're being judgy like us.
If you have a crazy story to tell or need some advice, you can reach us by going to our website, weddingconfessionals.com.
Or you can email us at weddingconfessionals@gmail.com.
Or leave us a voice message at 434-933-2663. 2663. That's 434-933-2663.
And as always, we will never reveal the names in order to protect the innocent and the annoyed.
Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And if you're looking for those links, you can find those and more at our website, which you haven't figured out by now is weddingconfessionals.com.
See you guys next time.
Bye.